studying people and studying decisions, I don't really too much focus on studying like how they make a decision, more so the process of getting there. And I realized that where you come from, your experiences you had, things you've seen, even if you may have moved away or you've outgrown it or you're no longer in that environment, the way that you make decisions, the way that you process decisions, the way that you get to a decision is going to always be rooted in where you come from. And I noticed that because the way that I observe and I come up to what I want to decide on is always, I'm always like referencing things from New Orleans, right? And no matter how much I try to escape New Orleans or escape the stigma, my decision making, the way that I process things, the way that I see the field is always rooted in how I had to navigate and maneuver through the city. And as I sit with entrepreneurs or athletes and coaches, the way that they coach, the way they build their business, the way they want to play, it seems like they're doing random things because it doesn't make sense. But if you go and you investigate and you learn where they're from, you learn their neighborhoods, you learn like they had to make some hard decisions at a certain time, or they had to make decisions where it was either left or right. And my left or right was take part in the environment or become the opposite, right? And I always say the thing that you try not to be, you end up becoming. And it's funny because everything I did as an athlete, everything I did in early on entrepreneurship, everything I do in life in general, always it starts from my innate ability to see everybody, try to understand what this person gonna do, or I consider like all the threats, or don't go over there because that might not be beneficial to you, or you're not from this side, so don't go and mingle with these people. Or I mean, like a networking event, I'm trying to find the people who I can relate to just from their posture. And sometimes it's helpful. It's beneficial. It takes you to the next level. But sometimes it also hinders you too because you're boxed in because you're not thinking about things outside of your environment. Even though you left your environment, you're still mentally there. So when I'm putting together a plan or I'm thinking about some type of strategy, I have to gather in more information, or I'm gonna always make a decision based around what I know, right? Former athlete from New Orleans, military, all these things. Those experiences don't always aid in creating the best decisions in high stakes environments because what I may think is the best decision here may just be me or someone similar to me or in a different position operating from a lens of survival. So when we're sitting and we're putting all the cards on the table and we're looking at the overall plan and the overall objective, we're not asking you for your opinion. We're wondering how you're making decisions based on this situation, because this situation is going to require a different judgment, a different decision making process, different options than this situation. And I've learned that you can't take all of your experiences and just be one way. Don't become a monolithic person where you're only saying is my way or no way. And that's why I really believe in like collaboration, not saying that everybody's voice is going to be added to and heard, but you need multiple people in a room. You need multiple people adding into different points so that you guys can weigh out the best decision possible, because what's an emergency to you might not be an emergency to me. So you coming in with an emergency, and I'm like, okay, let's look at all the cards. Now, a high pressure situation for me might not even matter to you. And I've had plenty of arguments with people where something may be high pressure for me, time based, or we got to get it done now, and they don't move at the same pace that I want them to move, or they don't see it as pertinent as I see it, or they'll say, yeah, 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 whatever you want to do. I'm like, well, if it's whatever I want to do, I probably would have never came to you. I came to you because I wanted to work with you to get this done, because this actually involves you too. If I make this decision here based on me, it's gonna roll over to you, and I don't think you're ready for what comes after the decision is made. So when I started thinking about why you make decisions and how do you come to these decisions, and what's the best way to build out your plans, you have to always think, am I making a decision from my environment, and what does it impact the people next to it? This is why I want to always gather everybody in, because I want to know what does this decision impact next? Who does it impact next? What changes, and why does it change? And could I have saved this decision if I'd have just said, all right, look, I'm looking at this from a different lens. It's probably not a good idea to make this decision here. Let me get more people involved. And that's what we built the company around, like being able to be neutral, being able to understand all sides, being able to understand all parties, being able to understand every decision leads to something else and someone else. And I never want a decision that I want to make to impact anybody's job or anybody's role, anybody's future in a way where they can't handle it. So we always have to be collaborative.